TC Backer, TC Backer. TC Backer, TC Backer.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Chris Baker.
And I'm Ty Backer.
Welcome to episode 67 with TC Backer Behind the Tool Belt. We got some good stuff to talk about today. First things first, we want to thank everyone for getting us in the final nominations or the final votings for not only the best of York County, but we also made it into simply the best of Harrisburg. So there's, I believe, five potential people that can be voted for in this category, and the winner of this one's going to be voted as the best of that area.
Right.
And I believe we actually made it in all the categories that we wanted to go into. So that's
four
awesome.
Categories up for
Horizon Lawns also made it in for York. So
yes.
Thank you guys for that. I just want to touch on real quick on how we can proceed with that. It's the same process that you guys did to vote us into this point. You're going to do that same exact process to get us into first place, and hopefully we take that thing home, man.
Yeah, and that'll be pretty cool. This is the first year we ever did anything like this, and to be nominated for both Harrisburg and York is super exciting.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's hard to believe that just not that long ago, you know, and I don't want to say we're a chuck in a truck or were or are a chuck in a truck, but to have been recognized by the community is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool, man.
I was actually at Rudders today, and a gentleman walked up to my truck, and said to me, do you work for that company? And I was like, yeah, I work for that company. And he was like, do you like the company? And I was like, yeah, I really like the company. And I must have had this weird smirk on my face, and he kept kind of looking at me, and I was like, well, I own the company. He was like, well, no wonder you like it. And I was like, yeah. I said, I really enjoy it. I said, I've made the comment that, you know, I don't feel like I work because I really enjoy what I do today. Like, I don't work. You know what I mean? Because I really enjoy what I do today. And we kind of got a chuckle out of that. And he said Tom was out at his house. They were looking to get some siding done. And I bet we talked for a good 25 minutes in the parking lot.
Yeah.
We had a lot of things in common. He's a fisherman as well. So right away we hit it off. So hopefully, Tom, this gentleman will be calling you back.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, it was just cool that people were starting to recognize this, and that's what he said. That was my point. Is like, he was like, we're natives of Dover, and we've watched you guys grow over time. He was like, we saw the one sign that you guys had, and then the billboards went up, and now we see you on our Facebook feed, and we Googled you, and you guys popped right up as Google guaranteed, and it's just good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool.
And that kind of reminds me, I don't know if you remember, but it wasn't that long ago. I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was either Glenn or Derek. Actually, we're at Rudders and had someone buy their coffee for them because they were wearing a TC Backer shirt.
I think it might have been Drew.
Yeah, actually, it was Drew.
Yeah.
It was Drew.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's cool, man. That's cool.
It is.
So everyone hop on there and do the same process to get us voted in there. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
Lauren does a really good job at posting on our Facebook page exactly how to do that, the step-by-step process. If for some reason that is not up there right this second, you can always cycle back down through there and see the process for how to vote us in.
Absolutely.
And maybe in the next episode or the episode after that or something, maybe we'll do another demonstration on how to do that.
A little tutorial of it, but it's real simple. If you go on our website or if you go on our Facebook page and actually just click on the link or the picture, it'll take you right through the steps.
Yeah.
And once you've done it once, I believe you can actually, I could be wrong. I know the nominations where you could vote once a day per person, could vote once a day. I think it might be the same. I'm not sure, but no, I think I'm wrong because I think I did it once and I went back in to vote for us again, and I actually ended up voting Allied Maintenance.
Gotcha.
For their thing because I couldn't vote for us.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I've seen David Bruno in here. If you can actually just chime in, David, for us in the comments and let us know, is the rules the same? Like people can vote once a day? Or is it just cut off to one vote per email address, or how does that work? If you could inform everyone in the comments for us, buddy, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, that would be great. Just so I'm clear on that.
The other topic that we want to touch on today, we're always hiring. We're looking for some skilled laborers. We're looking for, honestly, anyone. I mean, if you feel like you bring something to the table, we definitely want to have a conversation with you. That can be anything from installing to if you have experience as like a foreman or a supervisor or estimating or just general knowledge of construction, office background, sales experience, any of that kind of stuff, we have a fit. We're constantly growing and expanding. We got the solar stuff that's going to be coming up, so that's going to create a lot of new jobs locally with us, and maybe some people that want to partner up and do installs or any of that kind of stuff. So there's a lot going on.
We have a lot going on. I mean, a lot. We have solar now. That's one more feather in our hat. So if you have experience with solar, or maybe you want experience with solar and aren't afraid of heights, or have roofing experience but kind of got the shits of doing roofing, there's solar. We're certified. You'll be certified, GAF certified solar, which is real exciting. And like Chris touched on a little bit, the job opportunities within the company, and then the job opportunities for the community as well. So that's what has me super excited about it. We're looking for gutter installers. We're looking for window installers, siding experience, roofing experience. We're looking for service tech, salespeople. So if you have any experience in any of that, or know anybody that has any experience in any of that, I mean, by all means, reach out to us. Reach out to us through Messenger, Facebook, give us a call at the shop, whatever. We're real easy to get a hold of. We're here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Speaking of which, next week, Allied Maintenance, the owner, and David Cax will be on the show next week.
That's going to be exciting, man.
Yeah, that'll be a great show. He's another local business owner who has supported us throughout this entire pandemic. David had came and cleaned our offices, still cleans our offices. Came in, sanitized for us in the midst of the pandemic, sanitized our trucks. I actually posted that video for the first time he came out and sanitized. And when that came up on my memories, man, I was watching that, and I remember how terrified I was at that point in time. Like, I had no idea what was going to happen. I don't think any of us knew what was going to happen, but we were still grinding, and it looked like, I was still grinding. We were all still grinding, you know what I mean? And I thought, I just thought, you know, I didn't even know what to think at that point in time, man. But I'm glad that we kept grinding away. We kept doing the shows. We kept
made the
going
right
live.
decisions, man. For sure, made the right decisions.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then the other thing that we're going to talk about here today is Ty's experience last week at the conference that you went to down in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I know I definitely missed that show. I was under the weather last week, but I know you got to meet a lot of awesome people down there.
I did.
I heard you got to chop it up with Money Mayweather
A little bit
down there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. A little bit.
A lot of big influential people.
Yes.
Are at those things. And you know, when I think of, you know, roofing conferences, you know, the first thing that comes to mind is you just got a bunch of people there and pickup trucks and, you know, the roofing attire, holy jeans, and, you know, everyone's just in there talking about roofing stuff, but it's really not like that whatsoever.
Probably the total opposite of that.
Right. Yeah. Right. And from the little bit of the clips that I saw and talking with you privately, it's completely different. So we're gonna fill you guys in on some of that stuff that wasn't able to be talked about last week, because there's definitely a lot of interesting stuff that went on down there.
For sure.
And I think we're gonna be regulars down there.
Yeah,
now, right?
for
Every
sure.
year?
We're going at least 15, 20 deep next year, regardless of where it's at. There's a conference coming up in December. It's not by Storm Venture Group or Win the Storm. It's by another very influential person on Facebook that I've actually been speaking with here over the past couple of days. He's holding a conference / expo type of thing down in Orlando, Florida. So that's something definitely I want to be there. I want to take a couple gals with us to go down to that, because there was so many gems and so many nuggets that I wish that I would have had 2 or 3 heads to absorb everything that was happening. I mean, I got my notebook from there. I actually grabbed a bunch. They provided these for us.
Oh, nice.
As soon as you got to your table, every morning you had, or every session, there was so many sessions. Then there was breakout sessions. There was a speaker over here, speaker over there, speaker on the main stage. So it was like, what do we want to do next? What do we want to do next? You know what I mean?
Right.
It was a full 8, 10, 12-hour day. You know, from 7 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night was nonstop sessions.
Did you bring Jana with you?
Jana was with me the entire time. She was in it to win it. She had her notebook, and she's like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I had to put my hearing aid in. Thank God. I thank you, Jana, for reminding me to bring my hearing aid. So that was the most I wore it. I actually got pretty used to it on how to get it in and out, and it definitely does work. I should start wearing it more often, but I'm grateful that I wore it, because I could hear everything that was being said, everything that they were talking about, and met a lot of great people. I actually joined, the friend requested a lot of people. You know, it was just so much stuff going on. I met some good marketing people. I met a company that did. There was one guy that spoke, and I actually videoed it, recorded it. Jana and I recorded it. And there was a lot that me and this gentleman had in common, and his story was so deep. And then when he was done, it's giving me goosebumps right now. I mean, this was one of those things. If you're into our industry, you have to go to this thing. I mean, between the knowledge, the experience, dude, there was thousands of years of roofing experience under one roof.
Yeah.
Over 6,000 of us.
Yeah.
In one room at one time. That's not even counting the 300 plus vendors and their people that they brought. You know what I mean? To just set this up. The hours that they put in. It reminded me of the home show that we do. You know what I mean? The hours that we put in, but I can't even imagine, because this wasn't like we just go 3 miles down the street. Most of these guys are out of Texas, Florida, Michigan, you know, bringing all of this equipment and stuff like that. And I got a couple pictures that I took of the show. But this one guy said that thoroughly impressed me. He did about $300 million a year. Okay, he has over 200 co-workers. I'm going to call them co-workers, and the brand that he has and the culture that he has, we're on the right path. You know what I mean? It confirmed with me that we were on the right path. There are a lot of things that we need to do that I would like to get us to, but I need to see that. Because for the longest time, man, we've been just trying to figure this out on our own, really.
Right.
I mean, I haven't had any type of mentorship other than like my dad and a few guys, but I don't think anyone could grasp it unless you actually do it, okay?
Right.
So then anyhow, this one speaker that I felt like we had a lot in common was standing on stage, and he said, I have 40 millionaires on my payroll.
It's crazy.
Did you see what I said?
Yeah, man.
He's got 40, not 4, not 1, on his payroll. He's made 40 millionaires. Okay.
That's
That's
impressive, man.
Yeah. So what this conference consisted of was storm restoration. That's 98% of what these guys do. Most of them are out of Texas, Florida, where a lot of storms hit. Okay. Now we do get storms here. They'll come through, I don't know, every 3, 4, 5 years where we get like a real huge hailstorm, but we get a lot of wind, and hence why we opened up shop down in the Delmarva, because that's more prone to having, hurricane strength winds, those kinds of situations. There's usually 1 or 2 good storms down there. So what we're focusing on, and why I really wanted to go to this thing was to get our feet wet in the insurance game.
Yeah.
Okay. We dabble with it, but we don't really know the ins and outs. But I mean, we're getting there. We signed up. We're members of the SVG which is the Storm Venture Group University. I know Russ is going through it. Tom, I see that he's been doing it. Lauren's been doing it. Drew's dabbling with it. I'm doing it. We basically go into this portal. Any question that you have about any kind of, like what is a public adjuster? What do they do? What is an umpire? What do they do? What is a supplement? What does that do? Why do you need a supplement? Those kinds of things. And a supplement basically is like, let's say we get to the job, and there's a couple ways that you could get a supplement. Basically, it's like a VPO. Okay, is the easiest way I can describe it. One, you get an Exactimate from the insurance company. The insurance company says they're going to pay the homeowner $8,000 less their deductible to do the roof. So if they got a $1,000 deductible, that means the homeowner pays me $1,000. Insurance company is going to pay $7,000 of that claim. Okay, so we go out there, we realize that the shingles are over 10 years old. Okay, well, there's step flashing. There's that the step flashing might not work with the shingles, because back then the shingles were English, now they're metric. Okay, that's a code upgrade, or like just an upgrade for the product. Then you go out there, you realize, well, there's no ice and water 24 inches inside the warm wall. Most areas, the code is you need 24 inches of ice and water. So that's a code upgrade. Okay, so that's where a supplement would come into place. Or we tear the shingles off and we realize that the sheeting's damaged, or like it's plank boards. Okay, so they don't want you to shingle over plank boards because the nails could go in between the cracks. You know how old plank boards are.
Right.
So they went over a lot of this stuff, like how to do this. There was booths set up that had public adjusters there that would work for us. They had attorneys there, because sometimes it's got to go to litigation. Let's say a homeowner has damage to one side of their roof. Okay, insurance company only wants to pay for one half of the roof. Says they're not paying for the other half of the roof. We go out there, we realize we can't match the shingles on the back of the house, which is a pretty crappy thing to do. And my first thought is well, if you're only going to pay half my roof, I guess next month I'll only pay half my insurance bill then. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. You have this house, you lived there for 10 years, you've paid your homeowner's insurance, you've never filed a claim. You get a storm, you really need it, especially under the conditions that we're in right now. A lot of people aren't working. The insurance company comes out, they send out an adjuster, and he says, we're only going to pay for half the roof.
Right.
Well, sometimes you got to get an attorney involved. Okay, it's got to go to litigation. They get involved, they're like, nope, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this. Well, not only did we learn this there at Wind the Storm, but that's what this SVGU teaches us, how to handle those situations, the contact information of the people that we need to call, verbiage, all that good stuff.
The right questions to ask.
Yeah, the right questions to ask.
The right responses to have when, they tell you that they answer your question with a unfavorable response.
Right.
What your rebuttals might want to be.
Exactly.
That kind
of
stuff.
All that stuff, man.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless with this thing. And then they're on call for us.
Yeah.
The guys at the university over at SVG. Okay, so if we have a question, so like Lauren reached out to our assistant. I'm gonna, lack of better terms, I'm gonna say our assistant. Okay, really nice girl, very knowledgeable on any type of insurance situation that there might be. They even do recruiting.
Yeah.
Like if we're looking for salespeople or canvassers or whatever, they'll do that for us as well. I mean, there's nothing that Anthony Delmonico is the guy, the owner of SVG and the host of Win the Storm. This dude is so awesome. He's been in our industry forever, and he's a mastermind and has thrown this university together. I'm sure with help with people, but he's the main man behind the scene that's pulling this all together. And speaking of which, he's got this TV show now called Contractor, the American Contractor Show, which is almost like one of those, kitchen rescue or something like that. Well, now he's got a TV show called American Contractor Show, where he comes in and helps contractors, you know, like if they're on the verge of bankruptcy or they just can't figure it out for whatever reason, okay? He comes in and pretty much puts them on the right track, puts the right people in their lives, surrounds them around the right people to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this guy is just awesome. So he's got this TV show now. So what I did was, and selfishly, I was taking a picture of his set to try to get some ideas. And you see this dude here giving me the hairy eye. You see him there? Yo, dude, what are you doing? Getting a little close to the equipment there. Where'd he go? There he is. Hey, buddy, how you doing? He's probably watching the show right now. I'm probably friends with him now on Facebook. But yeah, so those guys were there. I mean, it was great. And you see the lighting and how they got their lighting set up and their bar stools and stuff like that. So it gave me some good ideas, not just on the insurance level, not just on, you know, collaborating with like-minded people. It was just, I met this guy. He's got a company. I didn't take a picture of it, but he's got a company called Dope Marketing. Awesome guy. I've been Facebook stalking him for quite some time. He was there. It was actually cool to see these people that I Facebook stalk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, for real. It was really cool to actually meet these people face to face. And I wasn't like shy and timid, man. I was like, oh, hey, I'm Ty Backer. How are you? And you know what I mean? And it was just great because everybody was just on the same level, like trying to get from it what we were all trying to get from it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were all trying to get the nuggets. You know, we met these guys. They own a roofing company. There's Jana Banana. We did actually get to go out and walk the town a little bit. Not much, but we did. So we went out and about. But this guy right here, this is the guy that I said that does $350 million. He's out of Texas, has one location, chases storms around the South. This week he actually opened up a facility in Florida. So that, I mean, this guy here, he's you can actually follow him on Twitter or on Instagram, and actually that's his whatever you want to call that, his handle on
Yeah. I tell you what, Ty, I'm proud of you. That was a good verbiage right there, man.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
That was right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The handle.
Thank you.
I thought I was gonna have to finish that for you.
Right. Nope, I got it. I'm on fire, homie. Like, I'm still on cloud 9 from this whole thing. I mean, it wasn't just educational, but I felt like it was spiritual too. If that sounds crazy, I felt like I was having a spiritual experience, you know, just to be able to be around people and hear things that I didn't understand. And I wasn't, the biggest thing is I wasn't afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, I talked to this public adjuster guy for like an hour and a half and the show was over. Like, it was like well into 7:30, but everybody was just kind of hanging out and chilling because, you know, when the conference or the main stage or one of the breakout sessions would end, because they were about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours long, depend, you know, if they ran over or not.
Right.
Everybody would just come out into the expo center in the area where all the exhibitors were and just chill. You know what I mean? And talk, and nobody was like looking down at anybody, you know, because everybody's been where everybody was at least at one point in time. You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember that when I only had one truck and it was just me and a helper. Yeah, and it was just me and my wife that started us. Now we got 25 people that work for us. Constantly getting goosebumps right now. I mean, it was just so awesome, man.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Freaking
man.
great.
And it's so important that you were able to ask questions and didn't feel like you couldn't. And you know, that's super important because number one, you pay money to go to these things. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? They're not cheap. You want to make sure that you get your nuggets out of it.
Right.
And number two, I mean, the education. You know what I mean? It's really important to get educated. Same thing goes into, you know, when you have someone out there as a homeowner, a contractor out at your house, you want to make sure that you're comfortable with that person to ask questions.
Right.
Make sure that contractor isn't making you feel uncomfortable for asking questions.
Right.
You know, you want to make sure that you're being educated on what you're spending your money on. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
you know, those two things go hand in hand, and it's awesome that you were able to experience that and ask the questions you wanted to ask, and just be around those people, because I don't think that you're going to go anywhere else on this earth with a group of people like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be able to pool, you know, that's going to be super beneficial for us, you know, all of our coworkers, all of our family members, all that kind of stuff. So
yes,
I'm looking forward to next year's and everything that we're going to pull, and who knows, I mean, you know, it'll be really awesome to see some of those people again next year and say, hey, like, this is what I've been up to the last 365 days since I saw you last.
Exactly.
You know, this is where we are now.
Yes.
You know, you helped me do this.
The cool thing is I actually made friends that I'll stay in contact with, whether it be through, you know, social media or simple text message or even phone calls. That's what's cool. I made friends. You know, that are in the same industry that we are. We don't have to worry about being competition. And that's the thing, like I said before, a lot of these guys are out of Texas. None of them treated each other like they were competition. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, there isn't competition, Ty.
No.
So I'm pretty sure I remember earlier in our meeting this morning, you said storm chasing alone, insurance work, is a $300 billion a year industry.
Yep.
That's entirely too much cheddar for one person.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't, I don't care how many locations you have, you're not doing $300 billion a year in storm chasing. You can't. There's not enough out there to be able to keep your finger on that pulse.
No way, Jose.
So there's definitely enough food on the table for everyone.
Right.
And it's cool that you know, you're with a large group of people like that recognize that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
It's
sure.
not like, these are my nuggets, I'm going to hold them because I want it all.
Exactly.
Know? So that's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's
really
good.
It was great, man. What's Janice saying here? They were actually offering jobs to each other. Yeah. Like, so if in the north, when things slow down, a lot of those sales guys go south. You know what I mean? They were actually like swapping salespeople and work to each other. Like, hey, I can't handle it. And on the groups that I'm in with these guys, they're asking each other, hey, who's in the San Antonio area? Hey, who's in the Orlando area? You know what I mean? I'm constantly standing here with freaking goosebumps right now. I mean, it was great. Diane, you wish the HOA would allow solar. Well, let me know if they do, or if you need us to talk to them, because everybody would save money with the tax credits.
I'll tell you what, a good way to get the HOA to allow solar is to put it on everyone's house in the HOA.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get it.
Yeah, there you go.
All looks the same.
Yeah. Make it that they have to get it. You know, the HOA, if they vote on it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about some of the people that were actually at this conference. So I know that you said you mentioned a couple of them, but so you had not only did you have your roofers, your companies there,
yes,
but you know, did you have were there builders there? Were there just like, so there was regular general contractors?
Yeah.
Were there any builders there or anything like that, or was it just strictly the installers?
Well, no. It's funny you say that, because there was public adjusters there. There was actually people who own apartment complexes and HOAs.
Okay.
There were attorneys there. I'm trying to think of the district attorney from the district attorney's office. There was two people from Florida's district attorney's office, and the district attorney from Louisiana was there. So that was pretty cool to listen to them talking their side of things. You know, not necessarily for the insurance companies, but for the homeowner and the contractor.
And you guys call them the regulators, right?
Yeah.
Those are what they call the regulators in the industry.
Pretty much, the regulators would be like the umpires, or, you know, you can get a second opinion from a different public or adjuster. Okay, so the insurance company will send one out, but we can get a second opinion. Right. So there's a lot of companies there that offer that second opinion.
Gotcha.
Or offer advice.
Right.
So we had them there. We had CEOs of national, like PMI, which is the Property Management Incorporated, which is a huge conglomerate of townhomes, apartment buildings, rental complexes. Okay, so CEOs of those places were there, which can were speakers on. There was actually a CEO panel of companies that from PMI. I can't think of any other ones, but I think there's Country Meadows, not Country Meadows, but Country Squire Apartments or something like that. I think they're a national, apartment complex, property management kind of company. Dude, the list goes on of their side of their experience of RHOA got hit with solar or got hit with hail, and the hoops that they had to jump through to try to get the insurance company to pay for a full replacement, or siding blow off, or torn screens, or damaged gutters, or downspouts, because that's what happens. You know what I mean? When hail comes blowing through, it just destroys stuff. Have you ever seen a car that's been pelted by hail? Imagine what that's doing to an asphalt shingle. Do you know what I mean? It's one thing for it to lose granules, but once it breaks that mat, then that shingle's compromised.
Right.
You know what I mean? The siding that gets cracked, that's compromised. The gutter and downspouts that get all damaged and dented and dinged up, well, now that's compromised. You just lost full life expectancy out of that shingle, or that siding, or gutter, or downspouts, or screens. Screens get torn too. I've seen that. I've seen glass screen doors get smashed out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean the nuggets that were there. So there were general contractors. A lot of these guys will actually. I don't want to say there was home builders there, but there was general contractors there.
Gotcha.
Okay, so like us, we would go out. So during a hurricane, not only do you lose shingles, you can lose the whole second floor of your home.
Right.
Well, these guys have the capabilities of going out and rebuilding.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah,
So yes, there
gotcha.
was a lot of contractors, general contractors there, roofing, restoration companies when it came to, total gut, remediation of a house to remove the mold, remove the water, the carpet, the drywall, insulation. That's what these guys do, not just roofing. A lot of them.
Your conference was pretty close to Tornado Alley, so they get some pretty gnarly storms down there.
For sure.
Do a lot of damage. Up here, we're looking at some blow off shingles. Over in the Delmarva area, you might get some sheeting that's torn off, or some siding that's ripped off and stuff. But we don't necessarily get. Let's knock on some wood here. We don't really get tornadoes up here. But I'd imagine. The process doesn't change no matter how bad your damage is.
Right.
You still have to go through the same process with your adjusters and everything. And,
absolutely. And
obviously, an insurance company isn't out there just handing out checks. That's not how they make money. They don't want to They want to hold the money.
Right.
They don't want to hand the checks out. So it's really important to number one, have somebody knowledgeable, kind of guiding you through the process of dealing with your insurance company.
Yes.
Because not everyone out there can do that.
No.
You have to be licensed. You have to have certain qualifications in order to even talk on the behalf of a homeowner.
Exactly.
A lot of times. If you just have a regular, we'll call them Pete in a pickup, out there doing that, they're kind of at the mercy of how aggressive the homeowner wants to be with their insurance company.
You're absolutely right, because we can't, as contractors, negotiate with the insurance companies.
Right.
Now, I've personally had that happen where I've had the insurance company ask me, why is it so much? You know what I mean? I don't know if that's necessarily negotiating, or they really just wanted to know, why is it so much? But then sometimes when you explain to them between the code upgrades, the product upgrades, their square totals could be off based upon their Xactimate. They don't count cap shingles. They don't count enough waste. They don't count, and from what I'm gathering from this too, it's I'm hell-bent about we got to get educated in Xactimate, and it's half these guys aren't even using it anymore because it's so far out of date, especially with all of our price increases now.
Yeah.
They're not even using it. What they're using is the way that we do it. It's called the lump sum. You know what I mean? They're not even breaking it out. They're just throwing a price out there, having them call them, say, hey, what's going on? And then they say, look, this is why we have to do this.
Right.
But the deal is with that, like you were saying, is it's our It's nice to have someone who's experienced with it to educate the homeowner so they know what to say
Right.
to the insurance company.
Right.
If we don't know what to tell them to say, because they're the ones that can negotiate over their own policy.
Right. Yeah. We can sit in the background and kind of help you and guide you through that, but we can't pick up the phone on your behalf and call the insurance company and say, hey, this is what needs to happen.
Right.
It just doesn't work like that. And it's cool that I hear that they're able to do the lump sum thing, because from what I've seen in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in, a lot of insurance companies in the past, even up to pretty recently, require that Xactimate, require the itemized list of every line by line item in order to even look at it. There's a lot of people I know down in the Texas area that I've seen were complaining that, some insurance companies, if it's not itemized, they won't even open it.
Right.
Like, they won't even look at it. It's denied.
Right.
Like, it just is what it is. It's out the door, and they won't even call you.
Exactly.
So it's just good to be have somebody that is experienced and knowledgeable on this stuff, and it's just great that you're feeding everyone's brain and helping our people and yourself to be able to do that kind of stuff. So.
I definitely looked at this as being like a self-improvement thing. Like I said earlier, I felt like it was almost like I was having like some kind of like, it gave me the warm fuzzies, if you know what that means.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed being there. I felt comfortable being there. It gave me like that natural high, where I couldn't wait to get back and like share my gems with everybody. I tried to take the best notes that I could. I felt comfortable in the fact that we're on the right path because they were saying the same things that we're already doing. And then to be able to get the contacts that I've made. So if I have questions about things, I think that's like priceless.
Absolutely, dude. Because we talked about it in private conversation before.
Right.
None of us have ever been here before, where we're at and where we're trying to go. Those guys have, and I feel like you're constantly going to reach some plateaus,
right?
And it takes a little bit of a nudge to get over those plateaus sometimes to keep going up.
Absolutely.
A lot of times people reach those plateaus and they either stay or they go down.
Exactly.
So it's nice to have someone that you can bounce an idea off of. Like, hey, I've never come across this situation. We've never been here before.
Exactly.
What did you do?
Right.
How did you handle this? Like,
exactly.
how do I get past this point in my career? So that's
for real.
That's really important to be able to have those contacts and be able to
how you do it? You grow a set of big balls.
Yeah, man. You just do it.
Yeah.
Figure it out. I know we do that a
lot. John Flashav told me that. He said he admired me because I had big balls. I was like, well, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just dumb. He has no idea. I'm just stupid. Do you know what I mean? I don't know any better. I'm ignorant.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm having fun along the way.
Yeah, man.
But you were talking, and I got to meet Roof Scope down there. Great. We went live with them. The audio kind of stinked. We all agreed that we need to do it again. But I want to give them a huge shout out. Roof Scope was there. Got to meet Tom and Brian and those guys. And
let's tell them who Roof Scope is, what they do for us, and how we use them.
And that's what I was rolling into. Yeah. So why don't you go with what you know?
Yeah. So Roof Scope is, if anyone's ever heard of electronic or satellite measurement programs, you have some Eagle Views. GAF offers the 360.
Yep.
It's basically like a virtual / satellite program that will take pictures of your house, and generate measurements of it.
Yes.
Without actually having to physically go out and get a tape measure out.
Exactly.
Where this company kind of differs is not only can they have the capabilities of doing that for just the roof, but they do gutters, they do siding, they do a bunch of different stuff, and they will do blueprints.
Yes.
They'll go based off of blueprints and give you estimates. They'll give you material lists based off of the measurements of the house. You can have it set up so that you want to use X amount of waste factor, or you want to use this kind of shingle and this size drip edge, or this much ice and water, up your warm wall.
Exactly.
And, all that kind of stuff. So we use them for our salespeople. Where it comes into play for us is, if we want to have a salesperson go out to a house, we can go to that house on the first appointment before ever even meeting these homeowners. with a report of your home that tells you exactly what you need, so we can get a estimate to you while we're sitting there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't require us all the time. Now sometimes you get into those situations where you do want to kind of take it home and you know, fiddle with it a little bit to try to make sure that you got everything,
especially if it's a real cut up house.
Right. But I mean, if you just got a regular rancher, you know, 25 square, no hips, no crazy rubber, no nothing like that. I mean, you can have a salesperson come out and talk about your roof, have this report ready for you to show you exactly what's going on your roof, what needs to happen, and this is what it's going to cost you today.
Exactly.
You know, so that's how we use RoofScope, and I know that they are excited to be with us, because I don't think that they realized exactly what they were getting into when they said that they would do everything that they would do for us. I think that they didn't realize exactly how much work we actually did. But I know that they're excited to grow with us, and we're going to take them along with us, and you know, we'll go with them. Right. So that's really cool. So what did I miss out of that?
Okay, not much really. I mean, you covered it. You've paid attention a lot, obviously, because you've covered a lot of it, and you know, and like you touched on a little bit on our new construction side of things. It has helped the bottleneck that we've created over there, where Vic has a lot more time to be able to focus on putting numbers where they need to go, because the numbers are being taken care of. You know what I mean? The takeoffs are being taken care of, and they've really helped us there. And like you said, the guy that we deal with, his name is Chris, and I had said our first, I think, or second or third conversation to him, I was like, dude, you guys are gonna have to hire more people. Okay, so he just kind of chuckled, and then like the fourth or fifth time I spoke with him, I said, did you guys hire more people yet? And he chuckled again, and then me and Vic looked at each other and was like, go ahead, send them some. And so then Chris must have went to either Tom or Brian, was like, we don't think this guy was kidding. So they actually revamped their whole entire AutoCAD, the way that they do the takeoffs. Like they actually hired more people, got more, whatever they did for us, they're on time. Not that, you know, I guess we created a bottleneck for them, which we totally understand growing pains.
Yeah, that's a great thing. So it's a scary thing sometimes.
Yes.
Because sometimes you're running around pulling your hair out, like, I don't know what I'm going to do right now. But it's a good problem to have. Right. You know, that's something that is good to try to figure out. Right. Because it's only going to get better. Exactly. You know, if you figure that out, now it's time to bottleneck you again. Yes. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And continue to grow.
Well, we didn't even start really sending our retail stuff to them yet.
Right. Yeah. No, we bottlenecked them with just our new construction
well, when
stuff.
I said that to Brian, and this here, that's Brian and that's Tom. That's
I actually remember them from our Zoom meeting. Yeah.
So that's Brian there. And over here is Tom. Those were the guys that were actually live with me. So they got this thing called ProDocs. I'm not 100%. I can't remember exactly what they were talking about, but I could have swore that they could also do what's called like an Xactimate for us. So that's what I was thinking about when you were talking. You know, I knew you knew. I was hoping you knew a lot about it, because as much as we've been working with them, and you did. You freaking nailed it. But now they got this, I don't know if they've always had it or if they just do now, but they can actually help us give an Xactimate through their program. You know what I mean? Which is kind of cool too, because like you said, you might run across an insurance company that might not take the lump sum. Well, we want to give our people every opportunity to be able to help that homeowner. Yeah. Okay. So if we just throw a lump sum at the insurance company and they come back and say, look, we got a contractor that'll break it out for us, give us line item by line item, and is $1,000 cheaper. Well, what you can do to nip that in the bud, to circle back to one of the things that I learned is early on we sign a contract with the homeowner. Like, hey, if this goes down, basically you're going to use us. Boom. Well, when the insurance company says, well, I got another contractor, well, you'll breach the contract that I have with the homeowner. Yeah. They choose to use us. Right. It's their money. They've paid you for the insurance that they have. So when something goes wrong, you pay them to get it fixed. Right. Okay. So that was one of the nuggets that I brought home with me was just basically have a contract signed with a homeowner.
Yeah. And for contractors out there, one of the reasons why that's so important, anyone out there that has done, has a lot of experience in going out and doing estimates, understands the pain that is involved when you spend a lot of time on a house, getting an estimate together, doing your research, get everything prepared for a homeowner, and then you get everything to the insurance company, and chucking the truck down the road as they're installing your roof.
Right.
You know, that's painful and that's time wasted. And I don't want to say wasted, but that stinks. You know, and one of the ways to avoid doing that is what you said.
Yeah.
You know, you set yourself up with a contract, and
Absolutely.
and it's almost like a what if thing. You know,
Right.
if this happens like this, this is how we're going to go.
Exactly.
You know, obviously you're not tied in if the insurance company won't pay for it.
Right.
But if they do decide that they're going to pay for it,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to pay your deductible, and this is what this is what your roof's going to cost us, and we're going to be the ones that are going to install it. So
Exactly.
any contractors out there, that's what you have to do, and I'm sure you can reach out to Ty to get some nuggets on that.
Absolutely,
on
man.
how that
I'm
goes
more than happy to share my experience this far, man. I mean, I don't know everything yet, but I know enough to be dangerous, and I think we're at a really good spot. You know, we're all willing to learn this, and I think that's the biggest thing is that we're in it to win this thing. You know, we want to be around for a while. We want our feet in new construction, retail.
Right.
And insurance work. I mean, we want to cover it all. No matter what the economic climate is, we want to be prepared for that. And
Right.
you know, at high tide, all ships rise. You know what I mean? So if there's any struggling contractors out there that actually want some kind of mentorship, and I, by all means, not saying that I'm a mentor by any means, but if you have any questions, like if Corey Burns, I don't know if he's on here. I know I've shared some of my experience with him before. He's a roofing contractor out of the Camp Hill, Mechanicsburg area. He's reached out to me before and had questions. I have no problem, you know, helping other people out. I really don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Glenn and I. Okay, Glenn and I, you know, are both, you know, were siding contractors. Glenn was, okay. We talked. We were kosher to each other. We didn't step on each other's toes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now Glenn works for us today because there was that respect.
Right.
There.
Yeah, and the good thing is so there may be times where someone might reach out to you and say, hey, you know, this is what I'm dealing with. What did you do? And you may not be able to answer that with what needs to happen, but you can maybe say, well, I came across this too, and this is what didn't work.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you don't always have this is the answer that you need to do, but sometimes you can say, well, I've done this, and this, and these things didn't work.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is what happened when we did that. This is how this failed.
Right.
We're still trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's always good too, and it takes somebody sometimes. I respect somebody a lot if they say, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of just making something up or you know, just trying to sound good.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's okay to not know.
It is.
You know?
It is.
Seek the answer.
Yes.
You know?
And that's the thing I was thinking when you were speaking is that, you know, if someone asks me a question and I don't know, I can make a call and I can find out. If I haven't experienced it and can say, don't do that because
Right.
it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or this is what I would have done differently. But hang on a few minutes. I'll give you a call back. Let me make a few calls and I'll find out what the answer, what the good solution is to this problem, or hopefully multiple solutions.
Right.
You know, different avenues that we could take to figure this out together. And really it's about staying open-minded, the willingness to learn, and the willingness to want to really better yourself.
Right.
And that's the thing. Put down the ego. Ask questions.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That's probably the biggest thing. And if anyone out there is listening, probably one of the smartest things, if and when, I'm not perfect at this, but one of the things that I've learned probably over the years of doing this is putting my ego down and being able to have the strength to be able to ask questions. You know, not acting like I know all the answers all the time. And believe me, I've been in this game for a minute, ever since I was 23 years old. And believe me, I had a big head on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I ran things totally different back then than I do today. You know what I mean? And thank God I've learned so much. I've been through different economic climates. I've been through on horrible job sites. I worked for horrible customers. I worked for great customers. I've worked in the rain, the sleet, the snow, the 100-degree weather. You know what I mean? There's really not much when it comes to physically working that I haven't done, you know, in this industry, or being more of you know, the leader, you know, ship role. There's a hell of a lot more that I still have to learn because unfortunately, predominantly over my career, I was out in the field working. You know what I mean? So I don't know all of the office answers all the time, or the business questions. You know what I mean? That now I'm smart enough to know that I have to surround myself around people like Chris Baker and the Vicks and the John Staufers from Flash Ave, and you know, people like that, other roofing contractors who have who are where I would like to be someday and ask them questions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's all I can do today. I don't know all the answers, but I'm trying to figure them out.
And it's very important to, they have the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And it's very, very important to not have that kind of mentality in business.
For sure.
Especially today, man. Stuff is changing and evolving, and the processes that are being put in place and changed is so much right now.
Right on.
There's somebody can have a better way to do it. There's more than one way to do
Absolutely.
things, and they can both be right.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
For
But
sure.
somebody may just have a more efficient way to do it.
Yep.
And sometimes it's okay for that not to work for someone. Maybe they don't have the right processes in place or the right people in the right seats of the bus.
Yeah, man.
In order to make that happen, so they
Yes.
have to tweak it and do it this way, and that's okay.
Right on.
But to constantly have that, I know how to do this, and you're not going to tell me anything. That's not the right mentality to have. And unfortunately, in the construction industry, there is a lot of that goes on.
For sure.
You definitely have a lot of those hard-headed,
A lot of pride,
a
lot of ego.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you got to figure, man, you got someone that's been out in the field for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell them what needs to happen because they've been doing it for 30 years.
Exactly.
It's worked.
Yeah, man.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
But to have a good open mind, and that's one of the things that I want to commend Russ about. Russ is a new guy with us. He's got, he's in his 50s. He's got 30 plus years of experience, and I see him in the morning sitting down there educating himself on his iPad every morning.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And he's very receptive to how we're doing things around here. He brings stuff to the table, his suggestions.
Yes.
But he's also listening to what everyone else has to say around the room.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Denny, another one.
Yeah, man.
He has a wealth of experience, a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
But if there's another way that we need to do things, they're all ears.
Yeah,
for
sure.
So that's really cool, man.
Yeah, there's a couple other people too. Chuck and Glenn are another good one. To listen to. They've been in the industry
absolutely.
forever.
Absolutely.
They're go-getters. They're very knowledgeable at what they do. And that's for us to keep an open mind and listen to guys like Denny, who have been doing this for longer than probably 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and we actually have a plus with Denny because he actually used to be, work for, what's it called? The ABC, the builders, American Builders. Is it the ABA, American Builders Association or something like that?
Yeah.
Basically, they were like the code writers for construction.
Right.
So he worked in that. So he has a lot of knowledge when it comes to the code writing and what can be done, what can't be done.
Right.
That kind of stuff, which is, that's huge because that's an ever-changing thing.
Yeah,
mean, when new technologies come out, they realize that, concrete has silica in it and it's going to kill people.
Yeah.
So now you got to wear masks to use concrete. That wasn't always the case.
No.
And, the ripple effect on something like that, now you have to, it raises prices of things, because you have to pay someone to buy these vacuums. You have to pay people to get tested, to run these tests to make sure that they're not, inhaling all that silica dust. And
Right.
Unfortunately, by the time a lot of these things happen, it's usually too late for the guys that have been in the field doing it for so long.
Right.
You have your mesothelioma and asbestos and all that kind of stuff. But it's just really important to keep an open mind on things.
For sure.
And that's another thing, just going back on this Win the Storm thing, it seems like that conference is just filled with a bunch of people that have the open mind that didn't say, no, I know how to do this. You're not going to tell me nothing.
Right.
Because you don't get a $350 million a year business
Right. No.
by accident.
No.
That doesn't just happen.
For sure.
You have to know what you're doing and be receptive and participate in things like that and listen to the guys that are a little bit ahead of you in the game and to get your nuggets and stuff.
And that was the thing too, man, to have that experience and looking forward to it. I'm actually looking for more of these to go to because I can't get enough of it right now. Like I'm hooked on this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I found that not necessarily an outlet, but I found where to get the information that I've been looking for. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And not worry about what someone might say because I'm not as far as advanced as they are or whatever my pride and ego tells me. You know what I mean? It feels good to have an open mind and want to learn more about this industry. And like, I say this all the time, but I feel like I'm at a really good place in my career today. I really feel like the sky's the limit. I wish I would have had this energy 10 years ago, but mentally, I probably just wasn't ready yet. Nor did I have the great people around me,
Right.
that I do today. And that's the God's honest truth. We had a meeting this morning, and it was like everybody, and I swear to God, dude, seriously, was there a weak link in that room today? Like, for real. Seriously. From Tate the whole way around that circle, okay, to Colin. And then you guys standing behind me. Brandon, you, who else was standing? Enrique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was on here, and he even said he remembers me when I first met Enrique. I was still installing siding.
Yeah.
For my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
That's how long ago. That's how long I've known that dude.
Yeah.
Him and his brothers.
Yeah, he's a character, man.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Let's do a couple shout outs, man.
Yeah, go for it, man.
You want me to?
Yeah.
I screwed my I only get so many right now. I only got like 4 or 5 people on here. But Jana, thank you, honey. She was a big supporter of us going to this thing. I'm glad she agreed to go. She was in it just as much as I was. She had her own notebook and pen with me. Yeah, there you go, Diana. The American Builders and Contractors, ABC.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
thank
right.
you. Thank you, Diane. Chuck in the truck wants to know why he doesn't get his done by Roof Scope.
Right.
Yeah, well, we'll have 101 laptop tomorrow morning, buddy. Okay. Vic, good to see you, brother. Thanks for watching. Tina, good to see you. Ty soaked up a bunch of info. I did. I wish I had 3 more brains. But I'm gonna bring the whole crew next time, man. It's gonna be great. It'll be fantastic. It really will be. Diane, Vic, Chuck, Enrique, Jana, David KX, good to see you, brother. That's really Alan Tyson. She wasn't letting you have all the fun. No, she wasn't. That's for damn sure, man. She was in it. I think I was spacing out sometimes just because I got ADHD and oh look, there's a rabbit. But she was writing things down, and then I would look over and cheat and copy off her notebook. And be like, oh yeah, that was good. You know what I mean? But she was there. Thank God she was there. But yeah. Can you see anybody else?
Yeah, Ricky Day, what's going on, buddy? Brittany, what's going on? Who else we got? I think you got everyone on my list too, man.
Really? It just seems
David Bruno. David Bruno's in the house.
Yeah.
Russ, what's going on, guys? Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Chris Markey was in here a little bit ago. I'm not sure if he's still here. What's up, brother? I think that's about it.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's about
See
it.
how mine stops? Mine stops there.
Yeah, Ben Horn.
Ben Horn.
from he's from
He worked for us for a second.
God, I can't think of the name of it.
A glass company.
Yeah.
Window company.
Lewis is on here. What's going on, Lewis? Thanks for hopping in here, tuning in every week.
Brittany Butler.
Belmont Bean Company, Brittany Butler, Chris Mendez. Which, by the way, I wanted to touch on this, and I didn't mention earlier. We were talking about hiring. Horizon Lawns is also hiring as well.
Yes.
So that avenue also expands into the landscaping field. If you
Yep.
got experience in landscaping, we'll talk to you too.
Let us know what's up.
Nate Baker, Jim Hankey.
There we go.
From Bobcat York is in the house. Vic is in the house. I think that's about it. But so just so we can recap here real quick, guys. Larona's in the house too. Lauren
Laroni.
Ramco. Just to recap here real quick, guys. The best of York County. Make sure you guys get in and get those votes in. I know David Bruno put a couple tidbits of information in there for us. I appreciate you, buddy. So vote for us on Best of York. Also, simply the Best of Harrisburg. The processes are the same to nominate us now as they were when you got us into the final category here.
Yeah.
We got the home show coming up May 7th through the 9th.
Yeah.
And actually,
Yes.
I'll show you guys here real quick where we're going to be at. This is kind of this is what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see this on the screen back here, but we're going to be, when you come in the doors, we're going to be in the very back right corner. Horizon has a really big display up here at Garden 2. And then TC,
over here.
and over here at the Showcase 1.
Yeah.
And TC Backer is going to be taking up all of those spots right there. So
Come on, check us out.
we got some really cool stuff
Yeah.
planned and in the makings here for what our displays are going to be. If anyone's seen our display last year, you definitely need to come out and check out our display
Yeah.
this year. It's going to be
Dr.
It's gonna
Shingle
be awesome.
will be there. in person.
Yep.
We're going to have him there. We're unveiling Evolve Stone. We're going to have that there. We're actually getting more training on the 22nd with our salespeople on Thursday. So I forgot to tell Lauren and those guys that. But we're getting some more training on Evolve Stone. On Thursday, our boy, what was his name, Nate? No. Began with an N. The installer.
Dom.
Yeah. Dom. Yes. Dom will be up to do some more training. Gio, good to see you, buddy.
Yes. What's up, Gio?
I saw somebody else on here. I keep losing signal. Are we freezing?
Nope.
Are you sure? Because everything up
Yeah,
here.
I'm not freezing at all, buddy.
Okay, cool. So I lost train of thought there. So we're actually going to have what's called, I've been calling it handshake, but what it is, it's vinyl cedar shake, but it's installed just like shake, real cedar shake. It's in pieces. We're going to have that on one display. We're going with the red, white, and blue theme. We got our Weather Buster windows there. We're going to have our HDZ GAF shingles on display. We're going to have our solar on display. That's going to be dope. We're going to have our race cars there and the motorcycle there. Jim's coming up. Tommy Cordell's coming up. Zach and Logan are going to be there on the motorcycle. I'm sure David KX is going to be there. We're going to be going live the entire freaking time.
Yep.
We're going to be acting like crazy nuts. Going crazy. We might even bring something to smash. Who knows? You know what I mean? We might. Who knows? Sky's the limit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
With all that room that we have, I mean, we might catapult something through a window or something. Who knows? Chris might throw me through a window. I don't know yet. You know what I mean? But we're gonna have a great time. We've got a great setup. I'm excited about the entire thing. York Builders Association has really stepped up and kind of gave us, I don't want to say free reign. Oh yeah, we're raffling off, we're auctioning off she sheds. Howie's building us 2 greenhouses, some flower boxes, a bar. I should have put them up next week. Remind me.
Yeah.
I'll have pictures of the greenhouses, all cedar. Everything's going to be made out of cedar. We're making a bar that kind of looks like this. That's going to have a big flower box on the back, and we're going to wrap it in Evolve Stone. We're auctioning it off. So we're not selling it. It's Mother's Day weekend. Sunday is Mother's Day, which every day we should treat our mothers like it's Mother's Day, right? And that's the theme that we're going with. We're gonna give away flowers. I want to load these greenhouses up with flowers and plants and stuff like that, and make it look real pretty. And whoever wins it, gets picked for a greenhouse. They can have the flowers, the shrubs, whatever the hell we can find. That's in season to get, that we can pack inside these things. But I'm really.
We're auctioning that off, and do we want to tell everyone what we're doing with that then?
Yeah, man, for sure.
So the proceeds of that are going to be benefiting the Workforce Now program for the YBA.
Yep.
If you guys don't remember from last year what the Workforce Now program is, that is actually a program run by the York Builders Association for kids to get into the trades, to bring awareness to the need for kids to be going into the trades. The benefits of being in the trades, how beneficial it is, because
big time,
dude, let's face it, there's not a lot of people that strive to get into roofing, that strive to get into HVAC, that it's drilled in everyone's head. You got to go to college, you got to get a degree, you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer if you're going to be successful. You can get a high school education, maybe a little bit of trade school, but the cool thing about Workforce Now is it's going to get you into the trades, and guess what? When you get into the trades, it's on-site training. You get paid for it.
For sure.
You don't have to sit in the classroom and come out of there with your knowledge, $80,000 in debt, and now you get to go out on your own, $80,000 in debt to start your career. You get to start your career, get paid for it, and come out with a wealth of knowledge. And you get the benefits of being able to do stuff for yourself then. You don't have to call a guy to get something fixed. You just fix it yourself. So that's a really, really cool program that the YBA does that we're going to be involved with. And so all the proceeds for that we get for auctioning that is going to go to that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because we're really super pumped about Workforce Now and what they do for the community, and getting the message out there to students that, that aren't sure about what they want to do after graduation. Okay, so they hold some like on-site, different companies come in and we'll hold a workshop to, so the kids can come in and kind of look to see, what HVAC is, what electrical is, what plumbing is. And we're getting the opportunity to actually do something at Dallastown School District. I kind of dropped the ball on that a little bit, but at some point in time, we'll be going out there and speaking to them. I'm not sure if it's going to be through Zoom. Not sure how that's going to happen, but Dallastown School District, they're involved with workforce now. There's a couple other school districts that are involved, which I think is really cool. I really wish that they would bring back shop class. When I went to school, it was called shop, and then we also had one that was called industrial arts, where you got to learn how to use the bandsaw and just welding and all kinds of really cool things like that. For guys like me that had the ADHD and couldn't sit still and pay attention and learn how to read and do math and those things, my favorite classes was industrial arts, gym class, those kind of things where it was more hands-on for me. You know what I mean? I have like a photographic memory. If you show me one time, I get it. If you tell me it, I didn't hear what you just said. I don't know why I can't hear you, but it didn't stick in there.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? At least that's from my experience. But I really wish that they would bring that back. But yeah, dude, I can't believe May 7th through the 9th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come out, check us out. We're giving away French fries. So if you guys come up to our booth, it's going to be Brickers fries on tie. So come on out, free fries, Brickers, French fries will be there. We are, I'm trying to think what else we got going on. We got giveaways because of Diane Brooks. She hooked us up with some really cool stuff. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to come out, check it out, and come to our booth. You'll get free French fry on for Brickers or through Brickers from Brickers Fries. You'll get some really cool stuff that Diane Brooks hooked us up with. You'll check out some of our new products, the HDZ shingles, the Evolved Stone, the Handshake, split hand cut shake from Certainteed, our Weather Buster windows, and I'm trying to think what else we're going to have there. Solar, yes.
Yeah.
We're going to have our solar there. So come out and check it out because this solar stuff that we're doing isn't like your regular solar stuff.
Yes. You guys have never seen anything like it. I guarantee it. This is industry-changing stuff.
It is.
It's not just an ugly panel that sits up on your roof. I'm not going to go into any more detail on it. You guys are going to have to come out and check it out.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you guys will see these things and you're going to be impressed. Because I know I was.
Right on, man.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Episode 67.
One more thing. Racing to
reunite.
Yeah.
Let's pop that up on the
screen
display
there,
here.
Yeah.
If you guys remember, a couple weeks ago we had Tommy Cordell in here. He does the Racing to Reunite program that he plasters these missing kids on his race car every week. And this is the one that he sent us this week. If anyone has seen this individual or has any kind of information, the number's up on there to reach out and let them know, see if we can get them home or at least help.
Exactly.
Anything can help. You never know what little piece of information could be
absolutely
the thing that leads to somebody being found. So
absolutely,
anyone out there with kids understands how crazy of a feeling that is to not know, potentially not know where your child is. So,
yeah, it's horrible.
Let's everyone do what you can. Share that out right there. If you guys can screenshot that and maybe post that on your Facebook or something like that.
Right.
Give that a share. I know Tommy will really appreciate it. We'd really appreciate it. And I guarantee you, Ladarius's parents would really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So call 911 or 1-800-THE-LOST is the phone numbers that Vic has up on the screen for us. It's I'm assuming he's out of Erie, the Erie Police Department in Pennsylvania. The number there is 1-814-870-1125. Like Chris said, I'm sure Darius's family would be grateful, for whatever help that you guys can provide to help, Darian and, hopefully getting back home safe.
Yeah.
Each week we're going to do this. We'll have a different individual each week. So, help us out for a good cause. Racing to Reunite. That's a tongue twister for me for some reason. Tom Cordell, he's a part of the TC Backer Motorsport family. Does a lot of great things over in Rouserville. He's a Rouserville native. I graduated high school with him. Actually, I should say I went to school with him. But yeah, he's been a lifelong friend of mine, friend of the family. But anyhow, tonight was a great show.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Don't forget
Absolutely.
to vote for us. Go on our Facebook page. Go on our website. Vote for TC Backer Construction LLC. Vote for Horizon Lawns LLC. And we'll see you guys next week, man.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. See you next week at 7.
Thank you.